What does it really take to develop a mindset that not only endures but thrives in the face of life's challenges? Success isn't just about talent, luck, or hard work. It's deeply rooted in the way we think and respond to obstacles. A resilient success mindset is one that adapts, grows, and drives us forward no matter what comes our way. This book is a journey toward building that kind of mental strength, one that empowers you to take control, stay motivated, and continually evolve. Through practical exercises, clear examples, and reflective points, Mind Upgrade will guide you step by step, helping you replace limiting beliefs with empowering ones, stay focused, and turn challenges into stepping stones for growth. Together, we'll explore the habits, perspectives, and tools that create lasting resilience. By the end, you'll not only have a stronger mindset, but also the confidence to shape your life with purpose and persistence. Chapter 1: Foundations of a Success Mindset. What does it mean to truly believe in yourself, especially when faced with setbacks? The foundation of a resilient success mindset begins with a deep understanding of our beliefs about ourselves and the world around us. How we interpret challenges, failures, and even our own capabilities shapes how we act and, ultimately, what we achieve. Imagine a person who believes they're capable of overcoming any obstacle. When setbacks arise, they view them as temporary and solvable, finding strength in their belief that they can handle whatever life brings. This chapter will set the groundwork for that type of mindset, a mindset that views setbacks as opportunities and obstacles as growth steps. At the heart of a resilient success mindset is self-awareness. Knowing what you believe about yourself and your potential is crucial, as these beliefs drive your responses and choices. If, for example, you hold the belief that you're not cut out for certain types of success, then you'll likely approach related tasks with hesitation or avoid them altogether. This creates a self-fulfilling cycle where your mindset limits your actions and reinforces your limitations. But what if you could transform those beliefs? What if, instead of doubting your abilities, you taught yourself to see challenges as a natural part of growth? Shifting to this new mindset begins with examining what you believe and understanding how those beliefs have influenced your life so far. Consider the story of Sarah, a small business owner who struggled for years to keep her business afloat. She saw each setback as a sign that she was failing. But one day, Sarah decided to reevaluate her approach. She shifted her focus from dwelling on losses to analyzing what each failure taught her. Instead of seeing her struggles as proof of her limitations, she reframed them as lessons that would make her business stronger. By changing her perspective, Sarah's mindset shifted. Her focus on learning and growth fueled her resilience, and eventually, her business started thriving. Sarah's journey shows that our approach to setbacks can redefine our success. Her growth didn't come from avoiding failure, but from accepting it as part of her journey and learning from each experience. To build this foundation, it's important to understand how thoughts and beliefs influence actions. Our minds are wired to seek evidence that supports our beliefs, so if you believe you're capable, you'll seek out opportunities that reinforce this. But if you believe success is out of reach, you'll unknowingly focus on the barriers instead of possibilities. Developing a success mindset is about training your mind to focus on growth and solutions rather than limitations and doubts. It's about building a foundation where resilience and positivity aren't just reactions, but conscious choices. Self-reflection is essential in building this foundation. Take a few moments to reflect on your beliefs about success and resilience. Are there beliefs that limit you? Maybe you think you need to have all the answers before you can start a project, or perhaps you believe setbacks are signs you're not good enough. These beliefs are like roadblocks on your path to success, preventing you from reaching your full potential. By acknowledging and questioning these beliefs, you take the first step toward a mindset that's not hindered by limitations, but driven by possibilities. Let's look at a real-world example of how a shift in perspective can change outcomes. Take Thomas Edison, who despite failing hundreds of times while inventing the light bulb, famously said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." Edison didn't view these attempts as failures, but as steps in his journey toward success. His mindset allowed him to approach each setback with curiosity rather than defeat. This resilience and positive outlook are what enabled Edison to persevere and eventually succeed. When we adopt a similar mindset, we allow ourselves the freedom to explore, experiment, and grow, even when things don't go as planned. A resilient success mindset is also rooted in adaptability. Life is unpredictable, and rigid thinking can lead to frustration and disappointment. By learning to adapt, we become more flexible and open to new paths, even when the one we planned doesn't work out. Imagine someone who has always dreamed of a particular career but faces an unexpected challenge. A rigid mindset might view this as the end of their dreams, while a resilient mindset would look for alternative ways to achieve similar goals, perhaps by pursuing different skills or career paths that lead to the same satisfaction and success. Adaptability opens doors that we may not initially see, reminding us that success can be reached through multiple routes. Now, let's bring it all together. Building a foundation for a success mindset means choosing to see challenges as part of your journey and recognizing that your beliefs are powerful tools. Begin by questioning any limiting beliefs and making small shifts in how you interpret setbacks. Celebrate the effort you put into your goals, no matter the outcome. Each step, each challenge, and each attempt contributes to your growth. As you finish this chapter, consider this question: what beliefs do you hold about yourself that might be limiting your potential? Reflect on one belief and ask yourself if there's a way to reframe it into something empowering. For example, if you believe that you always mess up under pressure, try viewing it as, I am learning to improve under pressure. Reframing beliefs isn't about ignoring challenges, but about seeing them from a new, constructive perspective. With this foundational shift, you're already taking your first step toward a resilient success mindset that embraces growth, resilience, and possibility. Chapter 2: Awareness and Self-Reflection. Have you ever noticed how certain patterns seem to repeat themselves in your life? Perhaps you find yourself facing similar challenges at work, in relationships, or in personal goals. This repetition isn't random. It often reflects underlying beliefs and habits that shape your actions. Developing a resilient success mindset requires that you become aware of these patterns and understand the beliefs driving them. This chapter will guide you through the essential practice of self-reflection, helping you uncover the thoughts, emotions, and beliefs that influence your decisions. Awareness is the first step to growth, enabling you to break free from limiting cycles and start building a mindset rooted in possibility. Self-reflection isn't just about recognizing what you think, but understanding why you think that way. Our beliefs are shaped by past experiences, the influences around us, and the assumptions we've adopted over time. When we don't question these beliefs, they become invisible forces guiding our choices. Imagine someone who consistently hesitates to pursue new opportunities. They may tell themselves, I'm just being cautious, but deeper reflection might reveal a fear of failure. By identifying and acknowledging this fear, they're better equipped to address it, making decisions based on growth rather than fear. This shift in thinking, though subtle, is powerful. When we're aware of what's driving us, we can make conscious choices rather than reacting on autopilot. Take, for example, the story of Mark, an ambitious professional who always seemed to fall short of his goals. Each time he faced a setback, he'd find reasons to blame external circumstances, the economy, a demanding boss, or bad timing. But when he began practicing self-reflection, he discovered a recurring theme, a belief that success wasn't really attainable for him. He'd grown up around people who discouraged taking risks and valued playing it safe. Over time, Mark had internalized this perspective, and it quietly influenced his career choices. Through self-reflection, he recognized this belief and began questioning its accuracy. As he did, he noticed that he felt freer to take small risks, eventually leading to greater achievements and fulfillment. Mark's journey highlights how self-awareness can reveal patterns that hold us back and empower us to redefine our paths. The process of self-reflection can be both rewarding and challenging. Often, it requires examining aspects of ourselves that we may prefer to ignore. But true growth comes from embracing discomfort and pushing through it. Self-reflection allows us to step outside our immediate emotions and thoughts, providing a clearer, objective view of ourselves. Imagine looking into a mirror, not just to see your physical reflection, but to see the inner workings of your mind, the beliefs, motivations, and experiences that shape your reality. This practice can be transformative because it helps you see beyond the surface and gain a deeper understanding of who you are and what truly drives you. One way to develop this awareness is by keeping a journal. Writing down your thoughts and experiences allows you to observe patterns over time. For instance, you might notice that you tend to feel discouraged in certain situations or around specific people. Journaling helps capture these moments, making it easier to identify the underlying beliefs that trigger those emotions. It's a simple but powerful tool for gaining perspective and tracking your progress. When you can see how far you've come, it reinforces your commitment to growth and gives you the motivation to keep moving forward. Let's consider the example of Maya, a young entrepreneur who found herself constantly overwhelmed by stress. She initially attributed her stress to her workload, but after a few months of journaling, she realized that her stress stemmed from a fear of disappointing others. Growing up, Maya had always sought approval from family and friends, and this need for validation continued into her professional life. Through self-reflection, she recognized this pattern and began practicing self-compassion. Instead of measuring her worth by others' opinions, she focused on setting realistic expectations for herself. As she practiced this new mindset, her stress levels decreased, and she felt more in control of her work. Maya's journey demonstrates how self-reflection can reveal core issues we may overlook and provide a path toward greater resilience and balance. Another powerful way to practice self-awareness is through meditation. While meditation is often associated with relaxation, it's also an effective tool for observing your thoughts without judgment. By sitting quietly and focusing on your breath, you can develop a sense of calm that allows you to witness your thoughts as they arise. Over time, meditation helps you detach from your thoughts, making it easier to recognize patterns and beliefs without feeling overwhelmed by them. This detachment is essential because it allows you to see yourself more objectively, creating space for growth and change. You don't need hours of meditation. Even a few minutes each day can make a difference in your awareness and clarity. One of the most empowering aspects of self-awareness is realizing that you have the power to change. When you know what beliefs, patterns, or habits are holding you back, you're in a position to choose a new path. This is the essence of a resilient success mindset, the ability to adapt, evolve, and make conscious choices. Self-reflection reminds you that you're not limited by past experiences or learned behaviors. Instead, you're capable of growth and transformation. Each insight you gain becomes a stepping stone on your journey, bringing you closer to a mindset that's strong, flexible, and capable of overcoming life's challenges. As we wrap up this chapter, take a moment to reflect on a situation where you felt limited or stuck. Ask yourself, what belief or assumption might be contributing to this feeling? Consider if that belief is truly serving you or if it's time to reframe it. For example, if you believe that success requires perfection, try shifting it to success requires progress. Small changes in perspective can make a big impact over time. Building self-awareness is a lifelong journey, but every step brings you closer to a mindset of resilience and growth. As you continue this practice, remember that self-reflection isn't about perfection. It's about curiosity, openness, and compassion toward yourself. Embrace each insight you gain, knowing that every moment of awareness is a powerful tool in creating the success mindset you're working to build. Chapter 3. Reframing failure as fuel. When you think of failure, what comes to mind? For many, failure feels final, as though it's a confirmation of our limitations or inadequacies. But what if failure could be seen as a stepping stone, a source of energy, or even a necessary part of growth? In this chapter, we'll explore the power of reframing failure and using it as fuel for success. With the right perspective, setbacks and challenges can become opportunities to learn, grow, and adapt. By transforming how we view failure, we open ourselves up to resilience and deeper insights into what drives us. One of the most impactful ways to reframe failure is to see it as feedback, rather than a definitive end. When we fail, the outcome provides clues about what might not be working, offering a chance to adjust and try again with more wisdom and awareness. Consider the example of athletes who face defeat. For them, each loss isn't a reason to quit. Instead, it's an opportunity to analyze what went wrong, refine their techniques, and come back stronger. In sports, failure is considered part of the training process, a mindset that's crucial to achieving peak performance. By adopting a similar approach, we can use failure as a learning tool that brings us closer to success. The story of J.K. Rowling offers another relatable example. Before Harry Potter became a global phenomenon, Rowling faced numerous rejections from publishers. For years, she struggled financially and dealt with repeated setbacks. Many would have given up after so much rejection, but Rowling reframed her situation. She saw each rejection not as a measure of her worth, but as a sign to keep refining her work. Her persistence eventually paid off, not only because of her talent, but also because she viewed rejection as part of the journey. Rowling's experience highlights how resilience in the face of failure can lead to extraordinary outcomes. It reminds us that failure doesn't define us, it's our response to failure that shapes our path. When we view failure as something final, we create a fear-based mindset that can limit our potential. This fear of failure often stems from childhood experiences or societal expectations that teach us to seek perfection and avoid mistakes. As adults, we carry these expectations into our careers, relationships, and personal goals. This leads to a mindset where we're reluctant to take risks or try new things, afraid that any misstep will reflect poorly on us. But in reality, failure is one of the most valuable teachers. By changing how we perceive it, we can transform our fear into a sense of freedom, giving ourselves permission to explore, make mistakes, and grow. Imagine a young musician named Alex who dreams of becoming a professional performer. Early in his career, he experiences stage fright and struggles to complete his performances. His first instinct is to quit, feeling that his failures on stage mean he's not cut out for a musical career. But instead of giving up, Alex decides to reflect on his performances, asking himself what he can learn from each experience. He begins practicing mindfulness techniques to handle his nerves and takes small steps to build his confidence. With each performance, he grows a little stronger, and over time the stage fright fades. Alex's journey illustrates how facing failure head-on can build resilience and propel us closer to our goals. What initially felt like an insurmountable barrier became the very thing that helped him grow. Reframing failure as fuel also means learning to embrace vulnerability. Being open to failure requires courage because it means acknowledging that we're willing to step outside our comfort zones. Many of us avoid vulnerability because it feels risky or uncomfortable, but true growth happens when we're willing to take those risks. Think of an inventor who repeatedly experiments with new ideas, knowing full well that many will not work. This openness to trying, failing, and trying again is what leads to breakthrough innovations. In the same way, embracing vulnerability in our own lives opens us up to new possibilities and unexpected successes. One powerful way to reframe failure is to ask yourself, what can I learn from this? When we approach failure with curiosity rather than judgment, we create space for growth. Each setback holds valuable information, whether it's a skill that needs refining, a perspective that needs adjusting, or a lesson in patience. By looking at failure through this lens, we can gain insights that make us stronger and better prepared for future challenges. Rather than seeing failure as a verdict, we can see it as a process that's guiding us toward a better version of ourselves. Another important aspect of reframing failure is recognizing that everyone experiences it. In fact, the people we most admire for their success likely faced numerous failures along the way. This understanding helps remove the stigma around failure, reminding us that it's not something to hide from, but rather a shared human experience. When we realize that setbacks are part of every success story, it becomes easier to accept our own and move forward with confidence. Failure then becomes less about personal shortcomings and more about the resilience we build through perseverance. Finally, learning to use failure as fuel requires a commitment to self-compassion. Often, our inner critic is quick to judge us harshly when we fall short, amplifying feelings of shame or inadequacy. But self-compassion encourages us to treat ourselves with kindness, to see failure as an opportunity to learn rather than a reason to self-criticize. By practicing self-compassion, we allow ourselves to view each setback objectively and with an open heart, creating an environment where growth can flourish. This approach transforms failure from something to fear into a natural part of our journey, reminding us that we are always learning and evolving. As you reflect on this chapter, consider a recent experience where you felt you failed or fell short of your expectations. Instead of dwelling on the outcome, try asking yourself, what can I learn from this experience? How can this setback make me stronger or better prepared for the future? Reflect on how reframing failure might change how you approach your goals and dreams. By learning to see failure as fuel, you empower yourself to pursue your goals with resilience, courage, and a deepened sense of purpose. In time, this perspective will not only strengthen your success mindset, but also transform how you handle every challenge that comes your way. Chapter 4. Setting Intentional Goals. What separates those who achieve their dreams from those who simply wish for them? One powerful answer is intentionality. Goals set with clear purpose and direction are not only more achievable, but also more meaningful. When we create intentional goals, we're not just hoping for success. We're setting the stage for it by aligning our ambitions with what truly matters to us. This chapter explores the importance of setting purposeful, intentional goals that fuel your motivation and keep you resilient, even when the journey gets tough. With intentional goals, each step becomes part of a well-planned path, leading you toward a future that reflects your values and aspirations. Intentional goal setting starts with understanding what you genuinely want to accomplish and why it matters. Too often, we set goals based on what we think we should do or what others expect of us. These external influences can lead us to chase after goals that don't bring true satisfaction. Imagine someone who sets a goal to become a lawyer simply because it's a respected profession, yet their true passion lies in teaching. Even if they succeed in their legal career, they might feel unfulfilled because they didn't follow their authentic aspirations. Setting goals with intention involves checking in with yourself to ensure that each goal reflects your unique desires and interests. Let's consider the example of Emma, a young professional who initially set a goal to climb the corporate ladder in a large company. She spent years working toward promotions, assuming that reaching the top would bring her happiness. But as she advanced, she found herself increasingly stressed and disconnected from her work. After some reflection, Emma realized that her goal wasn't aligned with her values. She had always wanted a career that allowed her to make a positive impact on people's lives, but her current path didn't fulfill that desire. She decided to shift her goal toward a career in social work, a field that aligned better with her values and interests. Emma's story demonstrates that when goals are intentional, they have the power to provide not just success, but also satisfaction and a sense of purpose. Another key aspect of intentional goal setting is creating goals that are specific and actionable. Vague goals like "I want to be healthier" or "I want to save more money" are difficult to achieve because they lack clear direction. Instead, breaking these goals down into specific actions, like "I will exercise 3 times a week" or "I will save $100 each month," provides a roadmap. Specific goals are easier to measure and track, which keeps you accountable and motivated. When your goals are clear, each step toward them feels meaningful, and you can easily see the progress you're making, which reinforces your commitment. Consider James, who wanted to improve his physical fitness. Initially, his goal was simply to get in shape, but he struggled to stay consistent because he didn't know where to start. After learning about the power of intentional, specific goals, James changed his approach. He set clear targets, like running 3 times a week and attending a yoga class every Saturday. With these smaller, actionable steps, he could see his progress and stay motivated. Over time, James achieved his broader fitness goal, but it was the intentional, specific steps that kept him on track. His story illustrates that clarity brings momentum and makes the journey toward any goal more achievable. Intentional goals are also realistic and grounded in your current situation. While ambition is essential, setting goals that are too far out of reach can lead to frustration and burnout. A realistic goal takes into account your resources, time, and energy, creating a balance that challenges you without overwhelming you. Imagine a new business owner who sets a goal to double their revenue in the first month. This goal may be ambitious, but it's also unlikely to be attainable without significant experience and resources. A more realistic goal would be to increase sales by 10% each month. This approach allows the business owner to grow steadily while maintaining motivation and learning along the way. Setting realistic goals doesn't mean lowering your ambitions. It means building a path that allows for sustainable progress. Another powerful component of intentional goal setting is flexibility. Life is dynamic, and sometimes the best-laid plans need to be adjusted. Intentional goals are adaptable, allowing you to pivot without losing sight of your overall vision. Let's look at the story of Sophia, a student who set a goal to become a research scientist. Midway through her studies, she discovered a passion for environmental conservation and realized she wanted to apply her scientific knowledge in this field. Instead of rigidly sticking to her original plan, she adapted her goal to focus on conservation science. Sophia's flexibility allowed her to align her evolving interests with her career goals. Her story shows that flexibility doesn't mean giving up on goals. It means honoring your growth and allowing your goals to evolve with you. Setting intentional goals also involves regular reflection and assessment. Goals aren't set in stone, and as you progress, it's important to check in with yourself to make sure they still align with your values and priorities. Reflecting on your goals keeps you grounded and ensures that each goal remains meaningful. This practice also helps you celebrate your progress, reinforcing your commitment and reminding you why you started. Reflection allows you to stay connected to your intentions, making each milestone more rewarding and every challenge easier to overcome. As you wrap up this chapter, think about a goal you have set for yourself. Ask yourself, is this goal truly aligned with my values and desires? Is it specific, realistic, and flexible? Consider what small steps you could take today to make this goal more intentional. By creating goals with intention, you set yourself up for success that is not only achievable but also deeply fulfilling. Each step you take with purpose brings you closer to a life that reflects your values, strengthens your resilience, and empowers you to achieve lasting success. Chapter 5. Building Daily Resilience. What does it mean to be resilient in everyday life? Often, we think of resilience as something needed for big life-changing challenges. But the truth is, resilience is built through our daily habits, the small actions and attitudes we adopt each day. Daily resilience is about cultivating the ability to bounce back from the small setbacks, frustrations, and stressors that we all experience. This chapter explores how to develop resilience on a daily basis, helping you to strengthen your mindset one step at a time. By incorporating resilience into your everyday routine, you'll find that you're better equipped to handle life's bigger challenges as well. The foundation of daily resilience is consistency. When we create routines that support our mental, emotional, and physical well-being, we're essentially building a safety net that keeps us balanced and focused. These routines don't have to be complicated. In fact, simple habits like starting each day with a few moments of mindfulness or ending the day by reflecting on things you're grateful for can have a profound impact. Imagine waking up each morning and taking just 5 minutes to set an intention for the day. This small practice aligns your mindset and helps you approach each day with purpose, no matter what challenges arise. Daily routines like these may seem minor, but over time, they contribute to a more resilient mindset. Let's consider the example of Tom, a graphic designer who juggles multiple projects and often finds himself stressed by deadlines. Tom decided to build a resilience routine by starting each day with a few minutes of deep breathing and a brief journal entry where he outlines his goals. At first, it felt strange to take time away from his busy schedule, but over time, he noticed a difference. When a project didn't go as planned or a client was particularly demanding, he found himself feeling calmer and more in control. Tom's daily resilience practice gave him a buffer against stress, enabling him to approach challenges with a clearer mind. This story illustrates that resilience isn't something we summon in emergencies. It's a skill we can strengthen every day. One important aspect of daily resilience is learning to manage your energy. Often, we push ourselves to the limit, ignoring signs of exhaustion in favor of productivity. But resilience requires that we listen to our bodies and minds, recognizing when we need rest or a change of pace. Energy management is about balancing effort with recovery, ensuring that you're not constantly running on empty. Imagine someone who works tirelessly throughout the day without taking any breaks. They might feel productive in the moment, but by the end of the week, they're likely to feel drained and unfocused. In contrast, someone who takes regular breaks, exercises, and practices self-care is likely to have more sustainable energy, allowing them to remain resilient even when challenges arise. Consider Sarah, a teacher who felt overwhelmed by her workload. She began incorporating small breaks throughout her day, stepping outside for fresh air between classes and setting aside a few minutes each afternoon for a quick meditation. Initially, she worried that these breaks would cut into her productivity, but she soon found that they actually made her more focused and energized. By managing her energy and prioritizing self-care, Sarah became more resilient, able to handle her workload without feeling constantly exhausted. Her story demonstrates that resilience isn't about pushing through at all costs. It's about recognizing your limits and respecting your need for balance. Another key component of daily resilience is practicing flexibility in your thinking. Life is unpredictable, and our ability to adapt can make all the difference when things don't go as planned. Flexible thinking allows us to see setbacks as temporary and find alternative solutions rather than getting stuck in frustration. For example, imagine you're working toward a goal, but an unexpected obstacle arises. A rigid mindset might view this obstacle as a dead end, while a flexible mindset would look for a different path forward. This adaptability strengthens your resilience, enabling you to navigate challenges without feeling defeated. A real-life example of this can be seen in the story of Mia, a small business owner whose company faced unexpected financial setbacks. Initially, she felt discouraged, fearing that her business wouldn't survive. But instead of giving up, Mia chose to adjust her approach. She shifted her focus to online sales and started offering virtual consultations. Her flexibility allowed her business not only to survive, but also to thrive in a new way. Mia's experience highlights how adaptability can turn setbacks into opportunities, helping us remain resilient even in the face of uncertainty. Resilience also grows through self-compassion. In our efforts to be resilient, it's easy to be overly critical of ourselves when things don't go smoothly. But resilience isn't about being invincible. It's about being able to recover from challenges with kindness and understanding toward ourselves. When you practice self-compassion, you're less likely to dwell on mistakes or feel defeated by setbacks. Instead, you give yourself the grace to learn and move forward. Imagine a friend who's struggling with a difficult situation. Chances are you'd encourage them, reminding them that they're doing their best. Self-compassion is about offering yourself that same understanding, allowing you to bounce back from setbacks with a resilient, positive mindset. Let's return to Tom, the graphic designer. On a particularly tough day, he missed a deadline due to unforeseen circumstances. In the past, he would have been hard on himself, feeling like he'd failed. But now, with his focus on daily resilience, he took a different approach. He reminded himself that he'd done his best and used the experience as an opportunity to improve his time management. This shift in thinking allowed him to recover from the setback without dwelling on guilt. Self-compassion turned a challenging moment into a growth opportunity, showing that resilience includes both effort and kindness toward oneself. Finally, remember that resilience is a journey, not a destination. Building daily resilience is about creating habits that support you consistently. Each small effort, from managing your energy to practicing self-compassion, contributes to a mindset that's prepared for both everyday challenges and unexpected obstacles. As you continue to cultivate these habits, you'll find that resilience becomes second nature, giving you the strength to approach life with confidence and optimism. To put this chapter into action, ask yourself, what small habit could I start today to build my daily resilience? Maybe it's a brief moment of mindfulness in the morning, a short walk during lunch, or a few minutes of reflection at the end of the day. Choose one simple practice that feels achievable and commit to it for a week. Notice how it influences your mindset and energy, and consider how this small change might be the first step in building a more resilient, balanced life. Embrace each day as an opportunity to grow your resilience, knowing that every effort brings you closer to the success mindset you're working to create. Chapter 6. Overcoming Limiting Beliefs. What if the biggest obstacles to our success weren't outside circumstances, but our own beliefs? Limiting beliefs are the thoughts and assumptions we hold that restrict our potential. These beliefs often feel so ingrained that we may not even realize they're holding us back. But the truth is, our beliefs shape our actions, and when those beliefs are negative or limiting, they can prevent us from reaching our full potential. This chapter focuses on identifying and overcoming limiting beliefs, empowering you to replace them with thoughts that support your growth and success. By learning to challenge these internal barriers, you open yourself up to greater possibilities and a more resilient mindset. Limiting beliefs often develop over time through experiences, relationships, and social conditioning. They're the stories we tell ourselves about what we're capable of, what's possible, or what we deserve. These stories can range from, "I'm not good enough," to "I'll never succeed at that." While they may seem harmless, they create invisible boundaries that confine us, affecting our confidence, choices, and ability to pursue our goals. Imagine someone who believes they're not smart enough to achieve a particular career goal. This belief may prevent them from applying for a position, pursuing further education, or even exploring opportunities that could lead to personal and professional growth. Recognizing and challenging these beliefs is essential for building a mindset that embraces possibility and resilience. One powerful example of overcoming limiting beliefs is the story of Chris, an engineer who always wanted to start his own business, but felt trapped by the belief that he lacked the entrepreneurial spirit. For years, he stayed in his job, feeling unfulfilled, and telling himself he wasn't the type to succeed as an entrepreneur. But one day, Chris decided to challenge this belief. He started researching successful business owners from different backgrounds, and discovered that many of them hadn't initially seen themselves as entrepreneurs either. Encouraged by these stories, Chris began taking small steps toward his dream. He enrolled in business courses, connected with mentors, and eventually launched his own tech company. Chris's success didn't come from waiting for his beliefs to change on their own. It came from actively challenging his assumptions and creating new possibilities for himself. Overcoming limiting beliefs starts with identifying them. Often, these beliefs hide beneath the surface, influencing our decisions in subtle ways. Start by paying attention to recurring negative thoughts or patterns. For example, if you frequently think, "I'll never be able to do that," or "people like me don't succeed," you may have a limiting belief about your abilities or worth. Once you identify these beliefs, examine where they come from. Are they based on past experiences, things others have told you, or assumptions you've made about yourself? By understanding the origin of these beliefs, you gain the power to question their validity and reframe them in ways that support your growth. Another powerful technique for overcoming limiting beliefs is to create belief challenges. This approach involves deliberately taking actions that contradict your limiting beliefs, proving to yourself that they're not set in stone. Take Sarah, a professional who believed she wasn't good at public speaking. This belief held her back from career opportunities and made her feel nervous whenever she had to present her ideas. Determined to overcome this belief, Sarah challenged herself to take on small speaking engagements. She joined a local speaking club where she could practice in a supportive environment. Over time, her confidence grew, and she realized that her fear was based on a limiting belief, not an inherent inability. By actively challenging her belief, Sarah transformed her view of herself, opening up new professional opportunities and a newfound sense of confidence. The words we use to describe ourselves and our abilities also play a significant role in reinforcing or overcoming limiting beliefs. Language shapes our reality, so if we frequently use phrases like "I can't" or "I'm not good enough," we begin to internalize those limitations. One way to change this is by replacing limiting language with empowering statements. Instead of saying, "I'm terrible at math," try saying, "I'm learning to improve my math skills." These small shifts in language may seem minor, but over time they create a more positive and supportive mindset. By consciously choosing words that reinforce your potential rather than your limitations, you can reshape how you view yourself and what you believe is possible. Another helpful strategy for addressing limiting beliefs is visualization. This involves imagining yourself succeeding in areas where you previously felt limited. Visualization is a powerful tool because it creates a mental image of success which can build confidence and reduce self-doubt. Imagine someone who believes they're not a good leader. By visualizing themselves leading a successful project, handling challenges with confidence, and receiving positive feedback, they start to reshape their belief. Visualization helps you become comfortable with success in areas where you once felt limited, gradually replacing fear with familiarity and confidence. Limiting beliefs are often deeply rooted in fear of failure, rejection, or criticism. But overcoming these beliefs requires us to take action despite our fears. Think of athletes who may doubt their ability to win but still show up, train, and compete. Their actions help them break through mental barriers and prove to themselves what they're capable of. Similarly, when you act in ways that challenge your limiting beliefs, you create new experiences that override old fears. Each time you take a step outside your comfort zone, you weaken the grip of limiting beliefs and strengthen your confidence. Let's consider the story of Priya, who always wanted to learn a new language, but believed she wasn't good with languages. For years, this belief stopped her from even trying. But one day, she decided to challenge it by signing up for an online language class. At first, it was challenging, and her old belief would creep in whenever she struggled. But with persistence, she began to make progress, realizing that learning a language was possible with time and effort. Priya's experience shows that by taking action, we can transform limiting beliefs into new realities. Her journey is a reminder that the only true limits are the ones we place on ourselves. As we wrap up this chapter, consider taking a moment to reflect on a belief that may be holding you back. Ask yourself, is this belief serving my growth, or is it limiting my potential? Think about one small action you could take to challenge this belief and replace it with something more empowering. By actively questioning and challenging your assumptions, you can break free from limitations and create a mindset that embraces possibility. Remember, overcoming limiting beliefs isn't a one-time event. It's a continuous process that strengthens your resilience and opens the door to a future defined by your potential, not your fears. Each step you take toward breaking these mental barriers brings you closer to achieving the goals and dreams that once felt out of reach. Chapter 7. Maintaining Focus and Motivation. Have you ever set an exciting goal only to feel your enthusiasm wane over time? Staying focused and motivated is essential for achieving any goal, but it's also one of the biggest challenges people face. In this chapter, we'll explore the strategies and habits that help you maintain consistent focus and motivation, even when the initial excitement fades or obstacles arise. Motivation is what gets you started, but focus is what keeps you going. By cultivating both, you'll develop the resilience and determination needed to see your goals through to completion. Focus begins with clarity. When your goals are clear and specific, it's easier to stay engaged and motivated. Imagine two people who want to improve their fitness. One says, "I want to get in shape," while the other says, "I will run 3 times a week and increase my distance by a mile each month." The second person has a clear, measurable plan, which makes it easier to stay focused because they know exactly what steps to take. When you're clear on your goals, each step forward feels intentional and meaningful. This clarity acts as an anchor, helping you stay on track even when distractions arise. Consider the example of Lucy, who wanted to improve her writing skills. Initially, she set a vague goal of writing more, but she soon found it hard to stay motivated. She decided to redefine her goal by committing to write for 30 minutes each morning. By setting a specific, achievable target, Lucy was able to focus on building a routine. Over time, her motivation grew as she saw consistent progress, and writing became an enjoyable part of her day. Lucy's experience shows that when you're clear about what you want and create a structure to support it, staying focused becomes much easier. Another essential component of maintaining motivation is breaking your goals into smaller, manageable steps. Large goals can feel overwhelming and lead to procrastination, but smaller milestones provide quick wins that keep you engaged and encouraged. When each step is achievable, you build momentum that makes the next step feel more attainable. Imagine someone who sets a goal to learn to play the piano. Instead of focusing solely on mastering a full piece, they start by learning basic chords and scales. Each small accomplishment fuels their motivation, making it easier to stay focused and enthusiastic about the journey ahead. Motivation is also driven by your why, the deeper reason behind your goal. When you understand why a goal matters to you, it becomes easier to push through challenges and stay committed. Take the example of Marco, a father who wanted to improve his health to keep up with his kids. On tough days when he didn't feel like exercising, he reminded himself of his why. Knowing that his goal was about spending quality time with his family and being there for them gave him the strength to keep going. This personal connection to his goal kept his motivation strong, even when the workouts were tough. Understanding your why can help you stay focused, especially during difficult moments. Maintaining motivation also requires resilience, as setbacks are a natural part of any journey. Life often throws unexpected obstacles in our path, and it's easy to feel discouraged when things don't go as planned. But resilience is about learning to recover from these setbacks without losing sight of your goal. Consider Sarah, who had set a goal to save money for a down payment on a house. After facing an unexpected medical bill, she was forced to use some of her savings. Initially, she felt disheartened, but she reminded herself of her long-term goal. Instead of giving up, she adjusted her budget and set smaller saving milestones. This flexible approach kept her motivated and allowed her to continue making progress. Sarah's story shows that resilience and adaptability are essential for maintaining motivation over the long term. One effective technique for staying focused is to set regular check-ins with yourself. Taking time each week or month to assess your progress keeps your goals fresh in your mind and allows you to make any necessary adjustments. During these check-ins, celebrate your achievements, no matter how small. Recognizing progress is a powerful motivator that reminds you of how far you've come and keeps you excited about what's ahead. Imagine someone who's learning a new language. Each week, they review the words and phrases they've mastered. By acknowledging their progress, they reinforce their motivation to continue, knowing that each small victory brings them closer to fluency. Let's also talk about the power of accountability. Sharing your goals with someone else, whether it's a friend, family member, or mentor, creates a sense of responsibility that can strengthen your motivation. When someone else is aware of your goals, you're more likely to stay committed because you don't want to let them or yourself down. For example, if you have a workout buddy who joins you at the gym, you're less likely to skip a session. Accountability can be a powerful tool for staying on track, providing support and encouragement when motivation wavers. In addition to accountability, surrounding yourself with positive influences can boost your motivation. The people around us have a strong impact on our mindset, so seek out individuals who support your goals and inspire you to keep going. Imagine someone who wants to start their own business. If they spend time with friends who are also ambitious and goal-oriented, they're more likely to stay motivated. These positive influences create an environment that reinforces focus and makes the journey feel less isolating. Surrounding yourself with people who believe in you and your goals can be the support system that helps you maintain your momentum. Finally, remember that motivation is not constant. There will be days when you feel less enthusiastic, and that's normal. During these times, it's important to rely on discipline rather than motivation alone. Discipline is the habit of showing up, even when you don't feel like it. Think of an artist who commits to painting every day. Some days, they may feel inspired, while on others, they may feel uninspired or tired. But by building the habit of daily practice, they continue to make progress, regardless of their mood. Discipline keeps you moving forward, providing stability and consistency that strengthens your focus over time. As we conclude this chapter, consider a goal that you're currently working on. Reflect on your why, the specific steps you've taken, and the support you've surrounded yourself with. Then, ask yourself, how can I strengthen my focus and motivation to stay committed to this goal? Perhaps it's through weekly check-ins, adding small milestones, or reaching out to someone who can hold you accountable. By developing these habits, you'll find that focus and motivation become powerful allies in your journey toward success. Embrace each step as part of a meaningful path, knowing that your commitment will lead you to the results you desire. Chapter 8. Developing Emotional Flexibility. How well do you adapt to unexpected changes, especially when they disrupt your plans? Life's unpredictable twists and turns can easily throw us off course, leading to stress or frustration. Emotional flexibility, the ability to adjust our emotions and responses to change, is a key skill that keeps us balanced and resilient. In this chapter, we'll explore what it means to cultivate emotional flexibility and why it's essential for maintaining a resilient mindset. With emotional flexibility, you'll find it easier to navigate life's surprises, respond to challenges constructively, and ultimately build a stronger, more adaptable approach to success. At its core, emotional flexibility is about learning to embrace change rather than resisting it. When we hold rigid expectations or cling too tightly to a particular outcome, we set ourselves up for disappointment if things don't go as planned. Consider someone who is determined to follow a specific career path but suddenly faces a setback like a job loss or a shift in industry demands. Without emotional flexibility, they might feel overwhelmed and defeated, seeing this change as a barrier to their goals. But with a flexible mindset, they're more likely to explore alternative paths, seek new opportunities, and find creative ways to achieve their goals, even if it means adjusting their plans. Emotional flexibility allows us to see change not as a roadblock, but as an opportunity to adapt and grow. Let's take the example of David, a marketing professional who was laid off when his company restructured. Initially, he felt devastated, having spent years building his career with that organization. But instead of viewing the layoff as an end, David decided to reframe it as a chance to expand his skills. He took online courses, connected with industry peers, and explored freelance opportunities. Within a year, he built a successful freelance business, a path he might not have considered had he remained in his original job. David's ability to adapt to a challenging situation demonstrates how emotional flexibility can transform a setback into a new beginning, leading to personal growth and unexpected success. A crucial part of emotional flexibility is learning to regulate your emotional responses, especially in stressful situations. When emotions run high, it's easy to react impulsively or let frustration cloud your judgment. But emotional flexibility involves taking a step back, recognizing your feelings, and choosing a response that aligns with your goals. Imagine you're working on an important project, and suddenly, new requirements are introduced that complicate your work. An inflexible reaction might involve frustration, blaming others, or giving up. However, a flexible approach would allow you to acknowledge your frustration, consider the new requirements, and find a way to adapt. This shift in response not only keeps you focused, but also empowers you to handle challenges with a clear mind. To illustrate, consider the story of Lisa, a project manager who faced unexpected changes in her team's goals. Initially, she felt overwhelmed as the changes required significant adjustments to their timeline and resources. But instead of allowing her stress to take over, Lisa took a moment to assess the situation. She focused on what was within her control and worked with her team to reprioritize tasks. By choosing a calm, flexible response, Lisa maintained her team's morale and kept the project moving forward. Her ability to manage her emotions effectively kept her adaptable, and the project was ultimately a success. Lisa's story shows that emotional flexibility is a powerful tool for navigating change, ensuring that unexpected situations don't derail our progress. Another key element of emotional flexibility is learning to let go of the need for control. Many of us feel most comfortable when we're in control of our surroundings, our schedules, and our goals. But life is full of variables that we can't always control. And resisting these realities only creates frustration. By accepting that some things are beyond our control, we open ourselves up to new possibilities. Imagine someone who struggles with perfectionism, constantly trying to control every detail of a project. While this approach may produce good results, it often leads to stress, burnout, and dissatisfaction. Emotional flexibility means letting go of the need for perfect control, allowing you to adapt more easily and enjoy the process, rather than being tied to a rigid outcome. Think of Kevin, a teacher who found himself overwhelmed by the challenges of remote teaching. Initially, he tried to maintain the same level of control he had in a traditional classroom, micromanaging each lesson. But he soon realized that the new environment required a different approach. Instead of controlling every detail, he adapted his teaching methods to focus on student engagement rather than perfection. This shift not only reduced his stress, but also improved his students' learning experience. Kevin's story highlights how letting go of control can open up space for growth, creativity, and a more fulfilling experience. Developing emotional flexibility also involves practicing empathy, both toward yourself and others. When we encounter unexpected situations, it's natural to feel disappointed or frustrated, especially if our plans are disrupted. But approaching change with empathy allows us to respond with understanding rather than judgment. For example, if a team member misses a deadline, an inflexible response might be anger or frustration. But an empathetic, flexible approach involves understanding the person's circumstances, exploring solutions together, and finding ways to move forward. Empathy not only strengthens relationships, but also reinforces your own emotional flexibility, reminding you to be patient with yourself and others when facing change. To illustrate this, let's consider Mia, a restaurant manager navigating staffing shortages. Initially, she felt frustrated with her team's reduced availability, as it impacted service quality. But by practicing empathy, Mia began to understand the personal challenges her team members were facing, including health concerns and family obligations. She adjusted the schedule to accommodate their needs, created flexible shifts, and encouraged open communication. By embracing empathy, Mia not only resolved the staffing issue but also built a stronger, more supportive team. Her experience shows that flexibility and empathy are closely connected, creating a foundation for resilience and adaptability. As you continue to develop emotional flexibility, remember that it's a skill that grows with practice. Each time you encounter change, take a moment to assess your response. Are you holding on to expectations that no longer serve you? Are you resisting change because it feels uncomfortable? By acknowledging these reactions, you can start to shift toward a more flexible mindset. With time, emotional flexibility becomes a natural part of your resilience toolkit, helping you adapt to life's uncertainties with confidence and grace. To apply this concept, think about a recent situation where things didn't go as planned. Reflect on how you reacted and consider how a more flexible approach might have changed the outcome. Ask yourself, what could I let go of to make space for new possibilities? By practicing emotional flexibility, you'll not only find it easier to handle unexpected situations, but also develop a mindset that embraces change as a pathway to growth and success. Every challenge becomes an opportunity to strengthen your adaptability, ensuring that you're always prepared for whatever life may bring. Chapter 9. The Power of Positive Reinforcement. How often do you take the time to acknowledge your progress and celebrate your achievements, no matter how small they may seem? Positive reinforcement is one of the most effective tools for strengthening a resilient success mindset. When we reward our efforts and accomplishments, we encourage ourselves to keep moving forward, reinforcing the behaviors and attitudes that lead to success. This chapter focuses on the importance of positive reinforcement, not only as a way to stay motivated, but as a practice that builds confidence and persistence. By recognizing and rewarding your efforts, you create a positive cycle that fuels resilience and long-term growth. Positive reinforcement works by creating associations in our minds between effort and reward. Each time we celebrate progress or recognize a success, we're strengthening a habit of persistence and resilience. Imagine a student who rewards themselves with a break after completing a difficult assignment. This small act of self-recognition makes it more likely that they'll approach future assignments with a positive attitude, knowing that their hard work is valued. Positive reinforcement creates a mental link between effort and reward, making the journey toward any goal more enjoyable and sustainable. Consider the example of John, who was training for his first marathon. Running long distances was a new challenge for him, and at times, he found the training exhausting. To keep himself motivated, he set up small rewards along the way. After reaching a weekly mileage goal, he treated himself to a nice meal or a relaxing evening watching his favorite show. These rewards helped him stay engaged in the process, and each milestone felt like a celebration. By positively reinforcing his progress, John remained motivated, completing his training, and eventually achieving his marathon goal. His experience shows how recognizing and rewarding our efforts can make even challenging goals feel achievable and rewarding. A common misconception about positive reinforcement is that it's only about the final outcome. But in reality, reinforcing small wins along the way is just as important, if not more so. Each step you take toward your goal represents progress, and acknowledging these smaller achievements helps you build momentum. Imagine someone who sets out to write a book. Instead of waiting until the book is completed to celebrate, they could celebrate each chapter or milestone, keeping their motivation high throughout the process. By rewarding small wins, we build a habit of resilience, making the journey itself as fulfilling as the final achievement. Another powerful aspect of positive reinforcement is self-compassion. Often, we're quick to criticize ourselves for mistakes or setbacks, but slow to celebrate our accomplishments. Practicing self-compassion means being as kind to yourself as you would be to a friend, recognizing that each step forward, no matter how small, deserves acknowledgement. Imagine an entrepreneur who launches a new product. If the initial sales aren't as high as expected, they could view this as a failure. But by practicing self-compassion and celebrating the effort they put into the launch, they're more likely to stay motivated and make improvements for future success. Self-compassion reminds us that every effort counts, reinforcing a resilient mindset that can adapt and grow. To make positive reinforcement a consistent practice, it helps to set up regular check-ins where you review your progress and celebrate your achievements. This could be weekly, monthly, or after completing specific tasks. For instance, if you're working on a fitness goal, you might take time each week to reflect on the workouts you completed and the progress you made, even if it's small. These check-ins create a habit of recognition, encouraging you to keep going by reminding you of the progress you've made. Imagine someone who's learning to play a musical instrument. By recording their practice sessions and reviewing their progress each week, they can see how far they've come, boosting their motivation to continue. Let's look at the example of Maya, who set a goal to eat healthier. At first, she focused on making small changes, like adding more vegetables to her meals. Instead of focusing on her ultimate goal of a balanced diet, she celebrated each small choice she made. Every time she chose a healthy option, she gave herself a mental pat on the back. Over time, these small acknowledgments reinforced her motivation, and healthier eating became a natural habit. Maya's story demonstrates that positive reinforcement doesn't require grand rewards. Sometimes a simple acknowledgement of effort is enough to build new habits and keep you motivated. One effective way to reinforce positive behaviors is to use visualization. When you visualize yourself succeeding, you're creating a mental image that reinforces your belief in your ability to achieve your goals. Visualization acts as a form of positive reinforcement, building confidence and preparing you for success. Imagine a student preparing for an important exam. By visualizing themselves answering questions confidently and performing well, they're mentally reinforcing their belief in their abilities. Visualization not only strengthens motivation but also reduces anxiety, making it easier to approach challenges with a positive, resilient mindset. Another strategy for positive reinforcement is sharing your achievements with others. Whether it's with a friend, mentor, or family member, sharing your progress can reinforce your sense of accomplishment and encourage you to keep going. When you share your achievements, you're inviting others to celebrate with you, creating a supportive environment that values your efforts. For instance, someone working on a fitness journey might share their progress with a friend who cheers them on, providing encouragement and motivation. Positive reinforcement from others can be incredibly powerful, reminding you that your efforts are seen and appreciated. Positive reinforcement also helps shift your focus from perfection to progress. Often, we hold ourselves to unrealistic standards, feeling discouraged if we don't achieve a goal exactly as planned. But when we celebrate progress instead of perfection, we're more likely to appreciate the journey and stay motivated. Imagine someone who sets a goal to learn a new language. Instead of expecting fluency right away, they celebrate each new word or phrase they learn. By focusing on progress, they keep their motivation alive and enjoy the learning process. This shift in focus makes it easier to stay resilient, knowing that each step forward brings them closer to their goal. As we wrap up this chapter, think about an area of your life where you're working toward a goal. Ask yourself, how can I use positive reinforcement to celebrate my progress? Consider setting up small rewards or moments of acknowledgement along the way. Whether it's a small treat, a moment of reflection, or sharing your achievements with someone you trust, find ways to recognize your efforts. Positive reinforcement isn't just a way to stay motivated. It's a way to build confidence, resilience, and a mindset that celebrates every step of your journey. Embrace each achievement, knowing that each small win brings you closer to lasting success. Chapter 10: Sustaining a Lifelong Mindset Upgrade. What does it mean to fully commit to a journey of lifelong growth and self-improvement? Developing a resilient success mindset isn't a one-time event. It's an ongoing process, one that requires consistency, curiosity, and openness to change. In this final chapter, we'll explore how to sustain the mindset upgrades you've made and embrace a lifelong commitment to growth. By treating your mindset as a dynamic, evolving part of yourself, you create space for continuous improvement and resilience. A lifelong growth mindset is about staying engaged, curious, and adaptable as you pursue your goals and dreams. One of the key aspects of sustaining a resilient mindset is to remain curious. Curiosity is the drive that pushes us to learn, explore, and question our assumptions. When you approach life with curiosity, you're more likely to seek new experiences, gain knowledge, and expand your understanding. Imagine someone who has achieved success in their career but remains curious about ways to improve. This person may attend workshops, seek mentorship, or explore related fields, always looking for ways to grow. Curiosity keeps your mindset fresh, encouraging you to embrace new perspectives and skills. It reminds you that no matter how much you achieve, there's always more to learn and discover. Consider the story of Emma, an artist who had established a successful career. Rather than settling into her achievements, she kept exploring new techniques, studying art history, and attending creative workshops. Her curiosity not only fueled her growth, but also kept her passion for art alive. Even after decades in her field, Emma's openness to learning allowed her to evolve and adapt to new trends, making her work relevant and impactful. Emma's story highlights the importance of continuous learning and curiosity, showing how these qualities can sustain a growth mindset over a lifetime. Another essential component of a lifelong mindset upgrade is resilience in the face of setbacks. Challenges are inevitable, but how we respond to them determines whether we grow or remain stuck. Resilience means embracing setbacks as opportunities to learn and grow, rather than as reasons to quit. When you cultivate resilience, you're better equipped to handle life's ups and downs, knowing that each challenge strengthens your character and abilities. Imagine someone who faces a major setback in their career. Instead of giving up, they view it as a chance to reevaluate, learn new skills, or explore a different path. This resilient approach not only helps them move forward, but also deepens their understanding of their strengths and potential. Let's take the example of Alex, an entrepreneur whose startup faced multiple challenges in its early years. He experienced financial setbacks, product failures, and even moments of self-doubt. But each time, Alex chose to learn from his experiences rather than let them define his future. By approaching each setback with resilience, he adapted his business model, improved his products, and eventually built a thriving company. Alex's journey demonstrates that resilience isn't just about overcoming challenges. It's about growing through them. His story reminds us that a resilient mindset turns obstacles into stepping stones, helping us achieve long-term success. Maintaining a lifelong growth mindset also requires self-reflection. Regular reflection allows you to assess your progress, recognize areas for improvement, and celebrate your achievements. It's a practice that keeps you connected to your goals and values, ensuring that you're moving in the right direction. Imagine someone who takes time each month to reflect on their personal and professional growth. By reviewing their achievements and challenges, they gain insights into what's working and what needs adjustment. This habit of reflection provides a clear sense of direction, keeping them focused and aligned with their long-term goals. Self-reflection isn't about dwelling on the past. It's about learning from it and using those lessons to fuel future growth. Think of Maria, a teacher who practices self-reflection at the end of each school year. She looks back on her successes, examines her challenges, and sets new goals for the upcoming year. Through this process, she identifies areas for improvement, celebrates her achievements, and stays motivated to grow. Maria's practice of self-reflection keeps her connected to her purpose and strengthens her commitment to lifelong growth. Her story shows that reflection is an essential tool for sustaining a resilient mindset, helping you stay focused, grounded, and open to change. To keep a resilient mindset alive over the long term, it's also important to surround yourself with supportive influences. The people around you play a significant role in shaping your attitudes and beliefs. When you're surrounded by individuals who share your commitment to growth, you're more likely to stay motivated and resilient. These positive influences can be mentors, friends, colleagues, or family members who encourage and inspire you. Imagine an athlete who trains with a group of dedicated teammates. Their shared commitment to improvement reinforces each person's resilience, creating an environment that fosters growth. Surrounding yourself with people who support your goals helps you stay on track, even during challenging times. Another strategy for sustaining a growth mindset is setting new, meaningful goals. As you achieve milestones, setting fresh goals keeps you engaged and focused on the journey ahead. These goals don't have to be monumental. They can be as simple as learning a new skill, reading a book on a subject that interests you, or volunteering in your community. New goals provide a sense of purpose and motivation, encouraging you to continue growing. Imagine someone who sets a goal each year to learn something new. By doing this, they keep their mind active, expand their knowledge, and embrace new experiences, all of which contribute to a resilient mindset. Finally, remember that a lifelong growth mindset includes practicing gratitude. Gratitude is a powerful tool for maintaining positivity and resilience, especially during challenging times. By appreciating your progress and the support around you, you reinforce a positive outlook that strengthens your ability to navigate difficulties. Imagine a person who takes a moment each day to reflect on what they're grateful for, from personal achievements to supportive relationships. This practice keeps them grounded, reminding them of the progress they've made and the opportunities ahead. Gratitude not only builds resilience but also cultivates a sense of fulfillment, encouraging you to embrace each step of your journey. As you conclude this chapter, think about the practices you can adopt to maintain a resilient, growth-oriented mindset throughout your life. Ask yourself, how can I stay curious, resilient, and committed to growth as I pursue my goals? Consider setting up regular times for reflection, surrounding yourself with positive influences, and setting new goals that challenge and inspire you. By making a lifelong commitment to growth, you're choosing to embrace change, celebrate progress, and approach each new challenge with a resilient mindset. This journey of continuous improvement is one of the most rewarding paths you can take, leading to a life that's not only successful, but also deeply fulfilling. Embrace each day as an opportunity to grow, knowing that your commitment to a resilient mindset will guide you toward a future filled with purpose and possibility. Throughout this journey, we've explored the foundations of building a resilient success mindset. From understanding the power of intentional goals and overcoming limiting beliefs, to practicing daily resilience, maintaining focus, and developing emotional flexibility, each chapter has provided tools to strengthen and sustain a mindset that thrives through challenges. By embracing positive reinforcement and committing to lifelong growth, you're equipped to approach each goal with confidence, persistence, and adaptability. Remember, resilience isn't a destination, but a continuous journey of growth, one that empowers you to unlock your full potential. Thank you for taking the time to engage with these insights. If you found this content helpful, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel for more on building a resilient and successful life. Your support means a lot, and we look forward to guiding you through more empowering journeys.